The House will come to order. Today's pledge is by Anya Ryan from Addenbrook Classical Academy in Lakewood, Colorado, and she is a guest of Representative Lee.
Please join me in saying the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Representatives Arndt, Becker J, Becker K, Beckman, Beckman,
Excused.
A lot of people have them.
Benavides, Bridges, Buck, Buckner, Representative Buckner,
Buckner, excused.
Carver, Catlin, Coleman, Covarrubias, Escar. Everett. Everett.
Excused.
Exum. Foot. Garnett. Garnett.
Representative Garnett is here.
Janal. Gray. Hamner. Hanson. Herod. Hooten. Hooten. Oh, thank you. Humphrey. Jackson. Excuse. Kennedy. Kraft Tharp. Kraft Tharp. President Bridges.
Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Excused.
Landgraf. Lawrence. Representative Beckman is present. Lee. Leonard. Lewis. Liston. Lontine. Lundeen. McKean. McLaughlin. Melton. Michelson Janae. Neville. Pabon. Pedersen. Pedersen.
Representative Pedersen is excused.
Rankin. Ransom. Raya. Roberts. Rosenthal. Sane. Salazar. Salazar.
Representative Salazar is excused.
Sandridge. Sias. Singer. Thurlow. Valdez. Van Winkle. Weissman. Willett. Williams. Wilson. Winter. Wist. Young. Madam Speaker.
Here.
Representative Buckner is present.
Jackson, Kraft Tharp, Pedersen, and Salazar.
Representative Kraft Tharp is present.
Everett, Jackson, Pedersen.
With 60 present for excuse and 1 vacancy, we do have a quorum. Representative Winter.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I move the reading of the Journal of Tuesday, March 13th, 2018 be dispensed with and approved as corrected by the Chief Clerk.
All right, members, you have heard the motion. All of those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed signify by saying no. That motion passes. Announcements and introductions. Representative
We're good.
Bridges and Representative McKeon. Looks like we have a tribute. And Representative Winter.
Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Members, can we get your attention, please? We do have a tribute this morning. Members.
Yes, we do.
We have a tribute this morning. Can we get your attention, please? Thank you. Who would like to go first?
I'll start.
Representative McKeon.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Everybody, you all have phones in your pocket. Get them out and look at them right now. What does that say for the date? That is March the 14th. This is 314. What day is that?
Pi Day. That's good.
Go right ahead.
Thank you. Thank you. Should we have Connor read it?
Yes. We do have a tribute. Mr. Randall, will you go ahead and read the tribute?
The House of Representatives, convened in the 71st General Assembly, hereby declares March 14th, 2018 as Pi Day. In recognition of the importance of STEM, science, technology, engineering, and mathematics education in our schools, the members of the Colorado House of Representatives hereby declare March 14th, 2018 as Pi Day in the state of Colorado. Pi Day, celebrated in schools across our state, helps to educate Colorado's youth on one of mathematics' most important constants and well-known irrational numbers. We are proud to recognize this day and pay tribute to math teachers everywhere who utilize this day to make math even more enjoyable for people of all ages. On request of Representatives Faith Winter, Jeff Bridges, and Hugh McKeon, given this 14th day of March 2018, State Capitol in Denver.
All right.
Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Representative Bridges.
Thank you. This may come as a surprise to some of you, but I was a mathlete for a little while in elementary school and middle school. Competed in some math competitions and did very well, except there was a question, and it had to do with the circumference to diameter ratio in a circle, and I didn't know pi. And I looked at it, and I guessed 3, and I was off by 0.14159 and so on, and did not get the question right, because Pi Day wasn't invented until 1988, and it took a little while to make its way here. And if I had had Pi Day in my life, I would have gotten that question right. So today is a very important day. Today is Pi Day. Today is also the day that Albert Einstein was born, and it is also, I'm very sad to say, that Stephen Hawking passed away earlier this morning. But Pi Day is not for those guys. Those guys know pi. Pi Day is for everybody else. Pi Day is a way to make math even more fun for everybody, and it's a way for even legislators to get in on the fun of mathematics. And there are pies available next to the coffee.
Representative Winter.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. But pi's ubiquity goes beyond math. The number crops up in the natural world, too. It appears everywhere there's a circle, of course, such as the disk of the sun, the spiral of the DNA double helix, the pupil of the eye, the concentric rings that travel outward from splashes in ponds. Pi also appears in physics that describes waves such as ripples of light and sound. It even enters into the equation that defines how precisely we can know the state of the universe. Finally, pi emerges in the shapes of rivers. A river's windiness is determined by its meandering ratio. And what determines that ratio? Pi. So please enjoy all the pie we brought and celebrate Pi Day all day today.
Representative McKeon.
One last little moment about pi. Who here knows who Buckminster Fuller was? Thank you. My favorite story about pi is from Buckminster Fuller. And he was on the back of his family yacht, and he was sailing along, and he saw the foam come up. And if any of you have been on a boat and you see that foam in the wake of the boat, he realized that those are all small spheres, and that those small spheres are under pressure. And that if we take pi exactly as we know it, those spheres probably could not exist, because pi is an irreducible, irrational number. And if it truly describes a circle, those molecules never quite meet, because it doesn't quite make itself whole. And so he said, you know, it's interesting because you're looking at these little spheres under the water, and if pi were absolutely correct, those little spheres would collapse because those molecules would never quite meet. And so it was that understanding that as much as we know about our world, as much as it describes all the things that we know, we get close to an understanding of our world that we never quite reach. And I think that is one of the most amazing little things. When we think that we know everything about the world we live in, there are these little elemental things that we don't quite get. And that's what makes us people. Thank all of you. It's Pi Day.
Happy Pi Day.
All right, further announcements or introductions? Representative Lewis.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, and good morning, and thank you for the beautiful flowers.
Oh, it's my pleasure.
I would like to introduce a gentleman from my district, 64, Craig Bailey. Craig, will you stand up? He is with the school board there, a volunteer, and let's give him a round of applause. It's a thankless job. Thank you.
Thank you for joining us at the Capitol. Further announcements or introductions? Representative Zinger.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. In honor of Pi Day, I believe the State Affairs Committee will be meeting tomorrow to PI some bills. But hopefully we will see something a little bit more positive in the local government committee today in House, or not House Committee room, but in room 271. We will be seeing you at 1:30 to discuss one bill in room 271 at 1:30. Looking forward to seeing you all in House Local Government.
Further announcements or introductions? Representative Exum.
Good morning, Madam Speaker.
Good morning.
I'm requesting to be off on this Friday. I've gotten permission from the Majority Leader to go study some more pi.
Okay, you are excused. Further announcements or introductions? Representative Wilson and Representative Arndt.
She was hiding. I am. Go ahead. You're so much better.
Representative Wilson.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Colleagues, just to tie in with Pi Day, if you save a piece of pie today, you can bring it tomorrow because we're having hot dogs and you have hot dogs and pie. So we will be downstairs. The legislators will be fed at 11:30 so you can eat before going into that committee room. And Capitol staff will be at noon. So the hot dogs will be there. Please come and join us. We have a great program. We've got Dick Ray of the Colorado Outfitters coming to talk to us. It'll be really fascinating and interesting.
That's right. Please come, colleagues, and listen to our guest speaker. And you're going to want to learn and know all about and ask questions on the Parks and Wildlife Bill. We know that. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Further announcements or introductions? Representative Escar.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Members, this is just the announcement that Capital Development Committee will be meeting tomorrow. There's a question if it was 7:30 or 8. We're going to meet at 8 o'clock in the morning tomorrow morning, Capital Development Committee. Thank you.
All right, further announcements or introductions? Representative Lawrence.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. So I have a couple of announcements, which I know everyone is going to be incredibly interested in hearing. Today is the Victims' Rights Caucus lunch, today from noon to 1 o'clock in room 109. So I hope you all put it on your calendars when I announced it on Monday so that you will plan to be there today. And then I also want to make sure that everyone's aware that the Colorado Retail Council has their legislative reception tonight from 5:30 to 7 p.m. at the University Club. So you guys have a couple of choices of great activities to participate in today. I will look forward to seeing you at both.
All right, thank you, Representative Lawrence. Further announcements or introductions? Representative Ransom.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. All of the legislators from Douglas County, Representative Lawrence, Representative Neville, Representative Van Winkle, and myself, we would love to have you help us welcome the Douglas County Business Alliance. They are sitting along this wall. You guys can stand up and wave. We are so excited to have the Douglas County Business Alliance join us on the floor this morning.
Welcome to the Capitol. Thank you for joining us. Further announcements or introductions? Representative Young.
Madam Speaker, thank you very much. Members, this is the announcement I think you've all been waiting for. Appropriations this Friday morning. Members, if you turn to page 8 of today's calendar, you will see the bills that are listed there. If one of those bills is yours, you need to be at LSBA 8 o'clock this Friday morning. Members of Appropriations, you need to be there as well. But here's a news flash. Here's a news flash. Members, I'm adding House Bill 1069, House Bill 1118, House Bill 1186, and House Bill 1293. I'll repeat, 1069, 1118, 1186, and 1293. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
All right, thank you, Representative Young. Representative Roberts. Good morning.
Good morning, Madam Speaker. Members, very important announcement. This Saturday is St. Patrick's Day. And my predecessor, Representative Mitch Bush, left this in her office for me.
Oh my goodness, there it is, the green jacket.
This is the green
St. Patty's
jacket.
Day is coming up. Representative Roberts, what do you have to tell us about it this year?
Thank you, Madam Speaker. So apparently this jacket has been in the House since 1993. Representative Stan Johnson passed this to Representative Jim Dyer after a poker game, and it has been passed down from many representatives since then. Alice Madden, Ellen Roberts, Ann McGeehan, Sherilyn Peniston, Representative Lawrence, to name a few. And so it's time to pass it on to the next holder of the jacket. Whoever wants the jacket can come and enter on my desk and guess how many M&Ms are in this jar. Whoever is the closest to guessing will be bestowed the wonderful green jacket. You can come guess today and tomorrow at my desk, and we'll pass it on Friday. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Representative Roberts. Maybe everybody should wear green on Friday to celebrate St. Patty's Day, too, since it's on Saturday. Well, I'll talk to the Majority Leader about that. Assistant Majority Leader Garnett.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Members, I put out a bowl of red ribbons, and I just wanted to highlight that 1 month ago, 17 lives were lost at Parkland. Thank you, members. Thank you. So a month ago, 17 innocent lives were tragically lost at Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School in Parkland, Florida. So I put out some red ribbons today that we can wear on our lapels to honor the lives of the victims in Parkland, but also in solidarity for those students in our state and also across the country who are walking out of their respective schools, standing up for school safety. To our students, we hear your voices, we honor your action, and we stand with you. Thank you, members.
Thank you, Assistant Majority Leader Garnett. Further announcements or introductions? Any further announcements or introductions? All right, seeing none. That takes us to third reading of bills. Mr. Randall, please read the title of Senate Bill 125.
Senate Bill 125 by Senators Gardner and Kagan, House Representative Lee, concerning fiduciary responsibilities of title insurance entities to protect funds held in conjunction with real estate closing settlement services.
Madam Majority Leader Becker.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I move for the passage of Senate Bill 125 on third reading and final passage.
The question before us is the passage of Senate Bill 125 on third reading and final passage. Seeing no discussion, Mr. Randall, please open the machine, and members, please proceed to vote. Representative Humphrey, Landgraf, Pabon, Ryer, Thurlow. Please vote. Please close the machine. With 61 yes votes, 2 no votes, 1 excuse, and 1 vacancy, Senate Bill 125 is passed. Co-sponsors. Please close the machine. Mr. Randall, please read the title of Senate Bill 138.
Senate Bill 138 by Senators Gardner and Kurthoff, Representatives Gray and Liston, concerning authorization for retail sellers of alcohol beverages for on-premise consumption still remaining inventory to another on-premise retail seller of alcohol beverages whom there is common ownership and no longer licensed to sell alcohol beverages for on-premise consumption.
Madam Majority Leader Becker.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I move for the passage of Senate Bill 138 on third reading and final passage.
The question before us is the passage of Senate Bill 138 on third reading and final passage. Mr. Randall, please open the machine, and members, please proceed to vote. Please close the machine. With 63 yes votes, 0 no votes, 1 excused, and 1 vacancy, Senate Bill 138 is passed. Co-sponsors. Co-sponsors. Please close the machine. Mr. Randall, please read the title of House Bill 1207.
House Bill 1207, Representatives Kennedy and Rankin, House Senator Moreno and Smallwood, concerning hospital transparency measures required to analyze the efficacy of hospital delivery system reform and incentive payments.
Madam Majority Leader Becker.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I move for the passage of House Bill 1207 on third reading and final passage.
Question before us is passage of House Bill 1207 on third reading and final passage. Mr. Randall, please open the machine, and members, please proceed to vote. Please close the machine. With 41 yes votes, 22 no votes, 1 excused, and 1 vacant, House Bill 1207 is passed. Co-sponsors. Co-sponsors.
Yes, I am. I'm sorry. Yes. And I told Jessie, so she'll have to come up. Okay, perfect. But we're going to go through the rest of thirds. Okay.
Please close the machine. Madam Majority Leader Becker.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I move to lay over House Bill 1089 till March 20th.
All right. House Bill 1089 will be laid over. Mr. Randall, please read the title of Senate Bill 111.
Senate Bill 111 by Senator Tate, House Representative Varner, concerning the removal of an obsolete date in the law that designates state legal holidays.
Madam Majority Leader Becker.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I move for the passage of Senate Bill 111 on third reading and final passage.
Question before us is the passage of Senate Bill 111 on third reading and final passage. Seeing no discussion, Mr. Randall, please open the machine. Members, please proceed to vote. Please close the machine. With 63 yes votes, 0 no votes, 1 excuse, and 1 vacant, Senate Bill 111 is passed. Co-sponsors. Please close the machine. Mr. Randall, please read the title of Senate Bill 121.
Senate Bill 121 by Senator Tate, House Representative Martin, concerning certain expenses allowed to a state employee when the employee is required to change his or her place of residence in connection with a change in job duties.
Madam Majority Leader Becker.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I move for the passage of Senate Bill 121 on third reading and final passage.
Question before us is the passage of Senate Bill 121 on third reading and final passage. Seeing no discussion, Mr. Randall, please open the machine, and members, please proceed to vote. Please close the machine. With 61 yes votes, 2 no votes, 1 excuse, and 1 vacant, Senate Bill 121 is passed. Co-sponsors. Please close the machine. Mr. Randall, please read the title of Senate Bill 73.
Senate Bill 73 by Senator Smallwood, House Representatives Ransom and Harry, concerning reporting to the Department of Revenue when ownership of a motor vehicle has been transferred.
Madam Majority Leader Becker.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I move for the passage of Senate Bill 73 on third reading and final passage.
Question before us is passage of Senate Bill 73 on third reading and final passage. Seeing no discussion, Mr. Randall, please open the machine, and members, please proceed to vote. Please close the machine. With 63 yes votes, 0 no votes, 1 excuse, and 1 vacant, Senate Bill 73 is passed. Co-sponsors. Please close the machine. Mr. Randall, please read the title of Senate Bill 102.
Senate Bill 102 by Senators Tate and Zenzinger, House Representatives Hooten and Thurlow, concerning a requirement for an odometer reading when a motor vehicle's identification number is physically verified.
Madam Majority Leader Becker.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I move for the passage of Senate Bill 102 on third reading and final passage.
The question before us is passage of Senate Bill 102 on third reading and final passage. Mr. Randall, please open the machine, and members, please proceed to vote. Representative Buck. That's okay. Please close the machine. Mr. Randall, you got to get quicker on the draw on that. With 63 yes votes, 0 no votes, 1 excuse, and 1 vacant, Senate Bill 102 is passed. Co-sponsors. All right, please close the machine. Madam Majority Leader Becker.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I move to proceed out of order for consideration of Senate amendments to House bills.
All right, seeing no objection, we will proceed out of order for consideration of Senate amendments to House bills. Madam Speaker Pro Tem will take the chair.
Mr. Randall, please read the title of House Bill. Madam Speaker.
I like Speaker Lawrence. So thank you very much for that recognition. I just want to say that.
Yeah, I'm sorry, folks, but we do need to have Mr. Randall read the title of House Bill 1233.
House Bill 1233 by Representatives Duran and Lawrence, House Senators Fenberg, Gardner, concerning consumer reporting agencies placement of security freeze on the consumer report of a consumer who is under the charge of a representative at the request of the consumer's representative.
Now, Madam Speaker.
All right, thank you, Madam Speaker Pro Tem. I move to concur with the Senate amendments to House Bill 1233.
Are you sure about that, Madam Speaker?
Yes, I am, in this one narrow occasion.
Okay, well then, Representative Lawrence, Madam Speaker, please explain yourselves.
Thank you, Madam Speaker Pro Tem. So the Senate, in their infinitesimal wisdom, actually woke up momentarily to put in some language that really doesn't change the bill in a large way. So I guess we can humor them today and accede to their amendment.
Madam Speaker.
Thank you, Madam Speaker Pro Tem. And the original bill used the term partially lift in the list of actions that can be taken without a fee. The new language substitutes temporarily lift for a specific party, which is the language used in other Colorado credit reporting statutes. So it was technical. We ask for your support.
Okay, members. You've heard the motion. Is there further discussion? Seeing none, the question before us is to concur with Senate amendments on House Bill 1233. Mr. Randall, please open the machine and members proceed to vote. Please close the machine. With 61 aye votes, 2 no votes, 1 excused, and 1 vacant, the motion to concur is passed. I will say, without a turkey gobble, Representative Garnett. Speaker? What? Okay. Inaudible. Madam Majority Leader.
Thank you, Madam Speaker Pro Tem. I move for the repassage of House Bill 1233 as amended.
Seeing no discussion, the motion before us is the repassage of House Bill 1233 as amended. Mr. Randall, please open the machine and members proceed to vote. Representative Willett. Please close the machine. With 61 aye votes, 2 no votes, 1 excused, and 1 vacancy, House Bill 1233 is passed. Co-sponsors. Co-sponsors. Co-sponsors for consumer protection. Please close the machine. Madam Majority Leader.
Thank you, Madam Speaker Pro Tem. I move to lay over the balance of the calendar till Thursday, March 15th.
All right, seeing no objection, the balance of the calendar will be laid over. Announcements and introductions. Representative Pabon.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. House Finance Committee, listen up. We are going to be meeting at 10 a.m. in LSBA. 10 a.m. LSBA. We've got a pretty full agenda and we're going to jam through it. So let's be on time, ready to work. We'll see you there. Thanks.
All right, and I do have two announcements. Representative Pabon will sit on the Local Government Committee today only, and Representative Kraft-Tharp will replace Representative Herod on the Finance Committee today only. All right, further announcements and introductions. Representative Catlin.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. It's an honor to serve with you.
It's an honor to serve with you, too.
Thank you. I wanted to remind you, colleagues, that on Friday morning at 7:30 downstairs, the Rural Caucus will be meeting. And we're going to talk about education. One of our esteemed colleagues, Gentleman Jim Wilson, will be there that morning. So bring your school books and we'll take some notes on what's going on in education in rural Colorado. Remember, rural Colorado on Friday morning. I'm already home. Thank you.
Representative Hansen.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Members, today is the first meeting of the House Select Committee on Climate Responsibility. Very pleased to be joined by Representatives Wist, Willett, Arndt, and Winter. We will start at 10 o'clock in room 112.
All right, further announcements or introductions? Representative Pedersen.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. And members in education, just make sure you're not going to forget, we have one bill up today. We're going to be meeting in 10 minutes in our regular room.
All right, further announcements or introductions? Representative Valdez.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, and it's an honor to serve with you.
It's an honor to serve with you, too.
Also, tomorrow morning, we're having our Health Caucus meeting down in the House Committee Room 106, starting at 7:30. We welcome you, and also I want to shout out to all the students in the gallery, and welcome to your state capitol.
Representative Herod.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. The Prison Population Study Work Group will meet today at noon in room 354. All members are invited to attend.
Further announcements or introductions? Going once. Representative Sane.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I just wanted to give a shout out to Gailton Elementary School that's going to be visiting us today in the gallery. Everybody say hi.
Welcome to the Capitol. Further announcements or introductions? Going once, going twice. Seeing no further announcements or introductions? Assistant Majority Leader Garnett.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I move that the House stand in recess until 1 o'clock today.
All right, seeing no objection, the House will stand in recess until 1 p.m. today.